Before that, it's undoubtedly a confusing and upsetting time for all of us, but how can we help the little ones in our lives make sense of it all? Dr Ranj is here now to help. Morning, Ranj.
Morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
So today we're looking at children sort of 6 to 10. And one of the first things you say is be honest.
Yeah, so a lot of the principles that we talked about yesterday in talking to your little ones still apply here. So knowing your facts, keeping it simple and honest, trying to be as non-alarming as possible, but being very mindful of your reactions, and also emphasizing that whole atmosphere of safety and trust. If your kids need to come and talk to you, you're going to be there for them. In the under fives, we made the point about sometimes less is more, but in the over fives, so the 5 to 10, obviously there's a big variety of understanding and ability there. It's likely that they will have heard of coronavirus, they will have seen and heard stuff on the news or in the playground from their friends. So it's important to kind of explore what they understand and what their specific questions and concerns are. And remember, when you're doing that, they will get the concept of viruses and illness. They may even get the concept of risk and even death. They will be worried about their day-to-day lives. It's important to talk to them about school and about their loved ones. And they will also actually understand that they've got a part to play in this. So obviously, it's important to cover things like that as well.
Ranj, I was going to ask you, because obviously, you know, you're trying to do the best you can with homeschooling. The kids are all chatting to each other on FaceTime, which is brilliant because at least they get a bit of social interaction with their peers and friends, which I think is really important. But there's a lot of comparing going on as well. There's a lot of kind of, well, what did you do? Did you do this comprehension? Did you do this? And there's a little bit of a panic going on that maybe they might not be doing enough. And are they going to get into trouble when they go back? And I'm sort of trying to keep a lid on that, really, to sort of say, it's OK, we're all just trying to do our best. We're all still trying to figure it out. Any advice there?
Yeah, so let's talk about homeschooling really, really quickly. What I will tell all parents out there that are trying to do their best in doing this, please don't stress about recreating school at home. Firstly, you're not a teacher. Secondly, remember that home is not school. For a lot of kids, home is supposed to be their sanctuary away from school. It's their opportunity to kind of take a break from it. And finally, everybody is already really, really stressed. So let's not add to that pressure. Place an emphasis when you're homeschooling or thinking about, you know, educating your kids at home. Place an emphasis on 3 things: structure, a bit of learning, and fun. Make sure you've got a routine. Use any school plans or homework that you've been set. Structure your day into classes with breaks, with fun activities. Keep it as varied as you can. And remember, there's loads of online resources that you can go to for ideas.
And the other thing I think that's really important is how you appear to your children as well. Because, you know, Harry said to me the other day, "Are you worried?" And I was like, "No." And he went, "Well, you look worried." And then I was like, oh, God, do I? And they know, like, kids aren't silly. They pick up these senses,
Well,
we
talked about this a number of times. We used to talk about it with Denise. We talk about it with Deirdre. Children love a routine. Now, the routine has now been dragged out from underneath their feet, so you have to reinvent another routine. And at school, you know, you don't have to do the 9 to 3 that they do. You know, an hour or 2 of getting down and doing something, even if for the first time ever you're sitting down and reading with your kids, then that is a big step forward and it begins that routine.
Absolutely. So it's about giving them structure. Structure is important. Put a tiny bit of learning time in there. Remember, 2 hours of homeschooling is a pretty big achievement. And then break up those sort of lesson times that you've got of varying different activities. Could be art, learning, cookery, exercise. Break that up with fun activities. Remember, you've got to take on a dual role now. You've got to be a parent at times and deal with all of that kind of stuff. But then there's a separate set of rules for when you're being an educator or taking that teaching role. Just be careful that you put some guidance and some sort of guidelines in place for that, some rules in place for that. Have set school times and have set home times and family times.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you.